guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about the history about the North Sentinel Islands. Took me 5 days of research and I've collected all the data that you need to know about the North Sentinel Islands and the history behind this tribe, because I want this presentation to be under 5 minutes. And this is the first ever recorded footage of the island. The first invasion of the North Sentinel Island was actually done by a very famous traveler of that time, was Mr. Marco Polo. Marco Polo in the 13th century actually had invaded the island and found this tribe to be very violent, and that is the reason he called these tribe to be as one of the most violent and cruel generation, and indicated that they were cannibals at that time. Britishers in the 19th century had bought another tribe to India, especially in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and these tribes were called ONGE. This ONGE tribe, which is very similar looking compared to the Sentinel tribe. These guys, as you can see in the picture, they were recorded, and these people were less violent, more friendly. The purpose of the British, obviously at that time, was slavery. When ONGE tribe actually went to Sentinel Islands, even they were violently attacked, because these tribes never understood each other. They couldn't even understand that language. That this tribe dates back to 60,000 years. How old are these tribes? They have been living in that island for 60,000 years. So they are believed to be as one of the very early migrants from Africa. And they had migrated 60,000 years before to this island. And that is the reason they have segregated themselves. They have their own language. They have never been studied before. The second visit was from a British surveyor called John Rich from the East India Company. I'm actually taking down the note on that. And this company was passing through their vessels, and their vessels, just because the North Sentinel Island has got stretches of reef, their vessel got stuck in the reef. And after that, when they got stuck in the reef, they didn't know where they were, because they apparently at that time North Sentinel Island was a tiny island in the map, and they knew that there is nobody out there. But they were attacked by the Sentinel tribe again, while they had firearms at that time, and they prevented that attack from happening. So they had fired back, while the Sentinels used bows and arrows. January 1880, there was another expedition, and that was one of the most successful expedition, which was led by Maurice Portman, a government administrator of the East India Company. And after several days, 6 Sentinelese and elderly people, 4 children were captured and was taken to Port Blair, which was Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So they were taken there just to study. But after a few days, the old man got sick, and the woman got sick, and his wife got sick, and like within 2 days they deteriorated so bad that the expeditionist got scared and took those 4 kids back to the island and left them with a lot of gifts. This showed that this tribe is so immune to disease, and for years after years, people did not want to encroach their territory and disturb them. And the second landing was made by, again, in the year 1883. Now the second landing was made on 1883 because gunshots were heard from Port Blair, and the ships thought that there's some sort of attack going on in the Sentinel Islands. But at that time, near Java and Sumatra, there was a small volcano. It's called Krakatoa that has erupted. That eruption of Krakatoa was so big that people had thought that there is gunfires going on in Sentinel Island. That was number 4. So the video that you're seeing right now, this is the first peaceful contact that was ever made with the Sentinelese, and this was made by Triloknath Pandit. You cannot see his face. Nobody knows how he looks. Unsung hero of Anthropological Survey of India, and he had visited with his colleagues in January 4, 1991, and this is the footage that they shot. And as you will see in the whole video, that they were very violent. They didn't want to have any contact, but they kept their boat very far from the shore, and they wanted to study them. So they wanted to see whether the tribe was friendly or not. So that is the reason they started to show coconuts and stuff like that. And Well, they ceased to land on that island, and they did not land on the island just to protect the tribe, and they understood that if they go and visit that tribe, they would not be able to protect the population, as the tribe will be exposed to diseases. 2006, this was a situation where two fishermen had were killed by this Sentinelese. So they were killed by these Sentinelese people just because their boat had drifted too close to the island, and no charges were applied because they had gone into illegal waters, as there is a lot of laws related to that, as you cannot go 5 nautical miles close to that island, and their bodies were never recovered, and there was no law to recover those bodies also. And that's pretty much it, guys, and that was the whole history of North Sentinel Island. They are a tribe that are going to get extinct. They are the last people in planet Earth that still live in Neolithic age. Their bows and spears, they are made up of metals that came washed to their shore from from broken ships, broken vessels, and stuff like that. So this was the whole presentation, and I did want to do this whole presentation only because I wanted the world to know that how many times were they how many times they were invaded, how many times people wanted to make contact with them, and what were the consequences. That is it, guys. That is what you need to know about the North Sentinel Islands. I would plead everybody who is watching this video and everybody who's going to watch this video, let's keep them the way they are. Let's not proceed more and encroach their territory. That's what we were. We evolved, and we can still see the glimpse of their history by taking footages, and we can still see how we were and where we have evolved to. If you like this presentation, give me a big thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel. Take care.